What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Common Sense and Logic.
Welcome back, YouTube. I'm Caesar.
And I'm Ronnie. And we're indoors today, man. It's getting a little cold out there. It might be raining. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
We decided to come indoors just for a little bit. So we're looking a little different right now.
Yeah, because of the indoor scenery. We're a lot more comfortable indoors, though.
Yeah, what you got back there, man? New York or something?
I don't know. My ex-girlfriend painted that. Who knows?
Oh, boy. Shout outs to the ex.
I don't know if it was City of Valley. I've never really paid attention to. I don't know if it's some sort of skyline.
Let's not put your foot in your mouth.
Yeah, no.
All right, we good?
Yeah.
So what do we got today, man? What are we talking about today?
As always, there's a lot going on, man. But one of the big things out there is the voter ID.
Yeah, they are talking about that again.
Yeah, the Democrats don't want it as a requirement.
As usual.
Yeah, they don't want the voter ID, which doesn't. I mean, it makes no sense to me. Common sense and logic would tell you, why not? You know, voter ID. Just make sure everybody's legitimate that's voting.
And just to be clear, man, so you guys won't think that we're always picking on the Democrats. On this subject right here, a lot of Democrats actually want this. But the main Democrats like Adam, I call him Shits, Adam Shits, and what's the other guy, Schumer? They're fighting this. They don't want it. You know, the top Democrats are the ones that don't want this. But the majority do. And obviously Republicans do. But why wouldn't you want that, man?
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
This is going to be a simple, short video. Because, come on.
Common sense and logic tells you if you don't want it, you're obviously you want people that are not legitimate voters to vote. And that sounds like that's how that's
their only hope.
That's how they get their votes, man. Dead people, illegal immigrants, people that are not legitimate. That's why they're opposing this voter ID, which, yeah, common sense and logic would tell you, fine. If everybody's legal and legitimate, voter ID shouldn't be an issue.
And Schumer is back to, or I think Adam, one of those two idiots, are back to calling black folks dummies again.
Wow.
Because they're saying that if we do get the voter ID, most black people are not going to vote. Insinuating that black people don't have their shit together.
Wow.
Excuse my language. Bleep that. But, you know, insinuating that black folks can't get an ID or a driver's license or something, dude.
So, yeah, I guess I was going to ask you that. What is their main reasoning for not wanting voter ID, which is Schumer and shit?
They're twisting it. They're saying that, you know, it's taking away people's rights.
What rights would that be?
Exactly. Everybody has an ID already.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody does. If you're a citizen, very likely you have an ID.
Well, I mean, I think it's illegal not to have an ID. Whenever you step in public, legally, I believe you have to have either a driver's license, or a passport, or
right.
Or
but
a state ID.
You know, because of the times, right? You know, most people don't have that, right? Show that they're not with ICE, so they're gonna kind of walk around with no ID on them and give them a hard time if that ever comes to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but they do that, right? You know, for instance, you know, you see those videos where they get pulled over. Let me see your license registration. Why do you need that? No, I don't have to give you that. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, but look, folks, if you need an ID to buy liquor, then why shouldn't you need an ID to vote?
Yeah, it only makes sense for me, at least.
You need practically an ID for almost everything, right? Especially for things that are for 18 and over. So why not for voting then? And this is why they want to bring the age limit down too. I think they want to bring it down as far as 14 years old, dude.
For voting?
For voting, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
You can't sell them a pack of cigarettes or a beer, but, you know, you want them. So they got this thing upside down in every single way.
Yeah, I think they want the younger vote because
they don't know any better.
No, because it starts at the school where they're indoctrinating these kids into their leftist, communist views.
Yeah.
So they want to catch them while they're during that little stage, you know, like you said, where they don't know any better. But it's during the indoctrination of the students in the public school system, where all they're teaching them is socialist views and liberal point of views, as opposed to doing it the right way, you know?
So we'll see what happens with this one, man. But they are pushing it again, especially here in California.
Yeah,
in
it makes
New
no
York.
sense. It makes no sense. I mean, I don't understand why anybody would be opposed to voter ID, because it just shows that it's legitimate and everything's done on the up and up.
And they're trying to make it a huge political thing about immigration. That's where they're pointing this thing at. They're saying that people are going to have fear. They're not going to go out and vote because of that. If you're
legal,
legitimate to vote, then you have
nothing to fear.
Nothing to fear. Just go and do your thing.
Yeah.
But they're twisting all that so people could hear that, and
that way they could get scared.
Yeah.
It's comical, man. The reasoning, but yeah, it makes no sense.
No sense.
Common sense and logic, people. If you want it done the right way, voting done the right way. What do you call it? Don't oppose voter ID. Go for voter ID, which will keep it on the up and up. Nothing shady going on there.
And for the few that don't use their common sense and logic, that are saying maybe they should do it without checking IDs. Well, if you could name any other country where they could do that, then maybe you have an argument. But anywhere else around the world, if you're not from there, you're not a citizen, you can't vote. So it always boils down to why only the U.S., why is it only here that you want to get away with doing all kinds of shady stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
I think you're taking your freedom, you're expending it to the wrong ways. They're trying to make everything fit under that. Now it's my freedom. I could do whatever I want.
Under that narrative, but I mean the United States has stayed in power for over 200 years because of law and order. Basically, doing it the right way, law and order, man. And what happened during the Biden administration was what do you call it? It was just disgraceful. Just having open borders and just letting anybody through.
And not only him, Obama did the same. But like we talked about Obama and other videos, nobody pointed a finger at him because Obama was, he's very intelligent.
Yeah.
He does shady stuff to the point to where you don't even know. You won't even notice it. Just like immigration, man. He deported a whole bunch of people. He never got no backlash on that.
Yeah, and he gave Holman an award.
He did.
For deporting all these people during his presidency. Holman got an award, but now Holman's doing the same thing, and look what's happening. They're talking bad about him. It's okay when Obama did it, but...
And Obama, the Middle East, he gave them a lot of money, and you wonder where wars, come from or how they get started. But presidents like that give away money, knowing damn well who they are, terrorists, and you still supplying weapons or money. That's the kind of shady stuff that Obama did, and nobody said anything.
Yeah, I mean, it all boils down to when a Democrat president's in power, they could do no wrong. But when a Republican, or in this case, especially with President Trump, he could do no right, Everything he does, they criticize. It's all chaos, just trying to ruin his term, his presidency, just make it look like chaos. But it's always one thing to the next, man. It's always one. They complain about one thing and they move on to the next. ICE, they'll probably forget about ICE in a couple months and it'll be a new thing,
Well, they kind of did already because, now they're going with Trump's plan. They're claiming other stuff, but, it's a win for everybody because now they're saying that they're going to apply.
Exactly. So yeah, like Minneapolis, they're complying. The state of Minneapolis is going to comply with ICE. So they're going, they're complying. So now you're not seeing a lot of chaos on the streets because they're complying. That it always boils down to these sanctuary states and cities. All this chaos is happening because they're not cooperating with ICE and law enforcement to bring in these illegal criminals. But now they're complying, but they're going to find something else, right? You're saying, is that what you're really?
No, I was going to say that they're complying with them, right? But there are some liberals saying that these like Tim Walz and all that they're bending. You know what I mean? That they're
Exactly.
giving up.
Yeah.
Which they really aren't. They're actually doing what they were supposed to do from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And that's only, you know, working with ICE, with the prisons, and, you know, just letting them connect with each other and get people out, you know, back bad characters.
Yeah. That's all it is, man.
The way they were doing it, you know, before is like you're kicking bad people out of prisons, releasing them into society here, the United States, and then ICE has to go and look for them, and then you got a bunch of dumbass liberals interfering with them, and then you got the top leaders, Democrats, you know, just fueling the whole fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's a win. So now they're saying that they're going to comply with that. So, you know, thankfully, we'll see what happens now.
Yeah, hopefully they stay on it, because that's the way it should be. You know, every state, every city should be helpful in apprehending these criminals that are out there. These hardened criminals that are out there raping, murdering, and doing bad stuff, man. They gotta
see. The liberals were crying. You know, they were asking for Trump to tone it down a bit.
Right.
You know, to like just turn the fire down a little bit, and he has.
Exactly.
Right. You don't really hear too much talking about that anymore. But when it's the other way around, where we're asking liberals to, you know, turn it down, to stop, you know, inflaming the arguments and everything else, they don't do it. They do it more.
They turn it up, man. They don't turn it down. That's for sure.
Yeah. So anyways, man, that's the whole common sense and logic about voter ID. You need that. If you need it for anything else, then you need that, so that way they could be legit. Otherwise, you're going to have all this bunch of people that they let in for that purpose, so they could vote for Democrats.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer on this one, man. You know, like, it's black and white. I mean, why wouldn't you want voter ID? You want it to be legitimate. Everybody that's out there voting, you want them to be legitimate, legal citizens, whatever, and U.S. citizens, for them to be able to vote.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it, man.
That's it.
That's the common sense and logic for today, folks. Easy. If you don't get it, then I don't know. I can't help you anymore, man.
Easy peasy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, common sense and logic. If you have it, use it. If you don't,
come on back. We'll help you find it.
I like that one. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.